Yo, hopefully the game's not too loud as far as me streaming. I'm trying to get all this right, but I'm late. I'm late to the party. But we were in and out, man. I'm gonna show y'all my account. 443. 217 on the day. Kind of getting from point A to point B. Not really holding too long. Overall, just coming to the day. I didn't. All right, so I marked up stuff on Monday. Didn't take any trades Monday. I also kind of looked at the charts on Tuesday. Wasn't really too into the charts on Tuesday. It was just like I skimmed through them and I was like, man, this market doesn't look how I ideally want it to look. So, but today I came into the markets, and I'm only late because I kind of pushed everything back and I was out doing stuff. So as soon as I got off work, I went to the gym. Then I had to go to the bank. And then, not really my fault, but from the bank I came here and I ate straight at it. But even from there, I was eating. I was like, man, put my phone out, and I kind of marked up the charts. It wasn't really too fast, but today was very. It was. I like to think it was a high. It was a high probability day as far as your targets and where you wanted to go. So again, coming into the day, I had already noticed take some of these. Okay, I want to make it make sense. All right, coming into the day, I kind of already noticed that, like, all right, boom, we have a fair value gap under here. We swept the previous daily low. Let me kind of mark some of this. So the previous daily low. Swept the previous daily low. So I'm like, all right, boom, I need just a couple more indications of, like, all right, boom, we're going to continue to go higher. Major rejection. We got this candle and we got this close. And I'm still looking at it, so I'm like, all right, boom, I like the close of the previous candle. And I'm looking for some sort of order block on the higher time frames. And this was the order block I seen. I seen it gave us an hour order block. So I'm like, all right, boom. We swept the previous daily low. We're bouncing off a daily FVG. Again, a daily FVG. Swept the previous daily low. Dropping it back down all the way to the hour. We have a order block on the hour. Again, on the 30-minute. Because what I was looking for, again, the micro. The 950 1010 macro. It's not macro. Looking for the 950 1010 macro. And in the midst of me waiting for it, it never happened. So with that being said, I kind of was just like, all right, boom, let me kind of just look at this a little different. So again, I was not even for the macro. I ain't even gonna say the macro. I was looking for us to kind of tap back into here. This is what I was looking for. I was looking for this close. It gave us a decent close. I was looking for it to take this high. I was looking for us to kind of come up, take this high, tap here, and slight tap, and then push up. That's what I wanted to see. That did not happen. I'm looking at the markets, and I'm getting in. I got in here. I'm looking like, all right, boom. Not really too much rejection. I'm talking about rejection. Not really too much of the indicator. Too many indications on the 5-minute. Dropping it down to the 3-minute. I'm like, all right, boom. We have an order block here. It gave us this candle here, and I was looking for a crazy close. So I was like, all right, boom. I'm looking at this candle, and I'm understanding that there's no wick under here. No wick under here, bouncing off this 30-minute gap, and just right at the edge of it, coming off the 30-minute gap, giving us this. I drop it down a little lower to the minute time frame. I'm like, all right, boom. On the minute time frame, I was actually looking for, again, another tap. When we got here, I'm like, all right, boom, we created a gap. I'm looking for a tap. But me looking at the 5-minute like this, and I ain't gonna say it didn't give us no wick, because it's definitely a little tiny wick that tapped the gap and pushed up. But I'm looking at it like, all right, boom, like I was kind of waiting for us to tap back into here to go up higher, which we ended up doing. We ended up coming back at least 50% of the gap again, going higher. Now we're here, but this is ultimately what I was looking for. But I got in a little early, and cut a little bit of drawdown, a little bit of drawdown, and eventually we ended up hitting our target. Again, not my initial target where TP was originally taken, because this is terrible risk to reward. Terrible. 0.8. It's not even 1-to-1. So but I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, this is very high probability as far as the higher time frame. The higher time frame is what makes a trade high probability. You have a sweep of the previous daily low, and your tap, and you have rejection from a daily fair value gap. Those are two very big indicators of that. All right, boom, the market can potentially continue to go higher. So again, me just monitoring, kind of seeing what's going on. Again, jumped the gun early. Really could have got a better entry, and my entry probably would have been as soon as it tapped this gap. So can't really say it would have been. I would have made a couple more dollars, but again, I'm analyzing the markets, and I'm looking, and I'm like, all right, boom, we got goes higher time frame on like the hour. We have an hour gap fill right here, exactly where this high is, and in my mind, I'm like, this was my initial target. Where this is that right here was my initial target. I'm like, all right, boom, I want this. This is a 1-to-5, 1-to-6, basically a 1-to-7 risk reward. And I'm looking for it to, again, come all the way up here and take out this high right here. But in my mind, I'm like, here to here, the highs being taken, another $200 a day as far as, that gets us closer to our payout, that gets us closer to needing our 5 days for the payout. And then on top of that, I didn't feel like holding, and it kind of sounds crazy, but I just honestly didn't feel like holding the trade. I was like, man, we're going from here to here, and I made my mind up like mid decision. I'm talking about mid decision, mid trade. I was like, I made this decision to be like, all right, boom, I'm gonna just take profits here, and if it does continue to go higher, oh well. If it doesn't, we took profits here. And ultimately, again, it came down to looking at this hour gap and being like, all right, boom, we got a gap fill here with the high that was just previously, made. This was the previous high that was made. And then we came down, made another low to sweep the previous daily low. And then again, order block here on the hour, shoot up. And again, I was just looking for it to take the high. I was like, man, there's no telling that it is going to go here. There's no telling. But in my head, I'm like, I'm more than certain that if we kind of get the momentum that we need through this hour gap right here, that we're going to continue to take this high out. And that's ultimately how I was just looking at things. I was like, yeah. And then again, looking at the trade, again, could have definitely got a better entry. But again, just take it. I'm not mad at today, taking what I could get, taking what I got. Take what I could get. Again, having a decent stop. I like this stop here because if you drop it down to the 5 minute, I might be on a 3. I might be on that 1 minute I just seen. I'm looking at it and I'm like, all right, boom. It's a couple gaps under here that it might want to come back into. It might have been this minute. All right, yeah, it was a minute. I'm going all over the place. I'm looking like, all right, boom. Personally, I don't want to see it come back down and inverse this gap right here. And I don't want to see, and then again, it's an order block right here. So I'm looking like, all right, boom, I'm going to just place it right under this order block, right under this wick that created the order block from this candle. And then I'm going to just watch and just see the trade. And that's what I did. Literally, I did that, let the trade ride, and boom, now we here. And I was kind of eating. I was eating, looked up, checked my phone, TP was hit. So, again, I had to get up here because, again, I'm trying to be as consistent as I can as far as keeping y'all, I'm talking about y'all, like a lot of people are watching, but not just y'all, but myself, up to date and consistent with this, because ultimately, again, I want to document this journey. I've been documenting it. So again, I just want to continue to document this journey. I want to continue to just have the proof and not just the proof but the evidence. You know what I'm saying? Proof, evidence, same thing. But again, conviction. That's all this is for me. It's just conviction, and it shows me that, like, bro, you're beyond a good trader. You're beyond an amazing trader. You just have to be able to control emotion, and that was and that's still a big thing that I, am trying to do. Because again, I could have potentially let this trade keep going. But I didn't, and I'm kind of happy I went from point A to point B, because you just never know what could have happened. This could have definitely took that high, gave you turtle soup, and went the opposite way. Again, bouncing off the previous daily. Talking about the previous daily, the 1 hour gap fill, the previous high that was just created. We just took that. So again, it could have definitely rejected and went down the way, but obviously, as we're looking at the charts right now, it's still going up. And again, just a great day, man. A great day overall. Another $200 day. Another winning trading day for me. And, just building my buffer on my account at 443. First trade taken of the week, and it was a amazing trade. Well, again, just an amazing trade. A great trade. And patient. And that's my main thing right now. I'm just so happy that I was able to not be antsy during the week and make impulsive decisions, because Monday I almost took a trade. Wouldn't have been a good trade. Terrible trade. Now that, again, I look back at it and I'm telling you, I'm like, bro, it would have been a terrible trade. So I'm kind of happy that I didn't take any trades during the week. I was kind of just being patient, waiting for what I really wanted to happen. And today was very much high probability. You could have, even if you wanted to, you could have been like, all right, boom, I'm just ride this to the previous daily high. Because that's what, ultimately you could have done that, because we had swept the previous daily low. So you could have definitely rode this to the previous daily high and collected some coin today, you feel me? Definitely had a great move to catch. But again, you could have definitely caught some coin today. You could have definitely made some money. But overall, just a great day. And not even just as, the money wise. Forget the money. It's a great day because I was patient during the week. I waited for a high probability setup to present itself, which it did, and I capitalized on it. And that's what makes me happy, that I didn't force anything at the beginning of the week. And my first trade was Wednesday. My first trade was Wednesday, and it was a win. And it feels good to know that I didn't force anything during the week. So again, can't really name this like live day trading, because it wasn't really live day trading, but just a decent little overview of what I did. Because again, this was all off the phone. It's because I didn't really have too much time nor energy to kind of come to the desk and really, even though this is all, I could have came to the desk and just talked while the trade was going, but again, I wanted to get some sort of content as far as, keeping track of what's going on with my journey. Because why would I just skip from 200 to 400 and then say when I do win my next trade, I ain't gonna say if I do, when I do win my next trade, it doesn't go from y'all seeing 200 to 700 in an account, or y'all or me coming back to, want to rewatch this when I get older and being like, dang, I kind of skipped from here to here, and the whole time, like, it's not what happened. So yeah, it's kind of, I'm just beyond, bro, happy again with my patience, bro, and how I really handled this, like what's going on, and how I really handle how the market conditions have been. And it's not really too much more to say, man. Again, self-explanatory day. I'm kind of go back over, you know, what I seen, what I saw, what I was looking for, what I got. And then you still have to be very, very cautious because this is a order block, a daily order block. So that was another thing that I was looking at. I'm like, well, this is a daily order block. I don't know if it wants to respect this or over kind of like give you a bullish order block to continue to go higher and take out not just the previous day high, but the high that was created before that day too. That was never taken. Again, bouncing out the daily gap, swap daily liquidity, swap previous daily liquidity. Our order block made. Our order block made. You could have. I'm trying to find an entry that was like, man, you could have caught this. Not really too many gaps left here. Again, it was kind of me eyeballing and me looking like, all right, boom. This is what I want to happen. Is it gonna happen? I don't know, but this is what I want to happen. Happy, man. Not with the money outcome, but the idea of again, I didn't force anything at the beginning of the weekend. I just kind of let this come to me. And again, I'm beyond happy. All glory to God, because obviously this could not have been done without, you know, the blessing of God. So I want to just thank God for blessing me with the ability and the mind just to obtain a skill like this, and having that, you know, that mental capacity to obtain a skill like this. Not only that, to kind of see my feelings progress as far as when it comes to holding trades, taking trades, looking at it this way, looking at things this way, you know. So again, all glory to God, man, because none of this would have been possible without Him. You know, all this is showing how good God really is. And again, like, beyond happy with the results of today, beyond happy with the results of Monday and Tuesday, no trades taken. And the idea of trading is to not lose money. That's the idea. Like, if you could break even, bro, that's better than not losing money. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, but, you know, some people don't grasp that idea for real when they're trading, and it's kind of like, man, I'll just take the loss. All the time, minimize the loss, maximize your wins, bro. Obviously, I didn't maximize my win here. You know, I could have gone about it a different way. Probably could have took a partial at the high. Don't really know how to trim too much when it comes to trade of 8 and trading on TradingView. Don't really know how to trim contracts. I mean, I do, but like, it's not how I want to, because obviously I want to be able to put another SL and another TP for the contract that's still going. But I don't know how to get around the fact of like, all right, but when they close one, when the TP is hit or the SL is hit, and I'm gonna just say the TP, when the TP one is hit, it like leaves a runner, but you can't like apply a TP and SL. So for me, it was like, so again, probably my next one will probably just be with Top Step X. I'll probably just be trading through Top Step X. I'll probably acquire an account or two. But yeah, I'm beyond happy with this, man. I'm beyond happy with the outcome. Gotta be. And again, the emotional and the emotional presence that I had, as far as being, not emotional presence, but being emotionally present while, you know, taking this trade, and just being understanding the fact of like, man, it's a high probability, you know. Obviously, SL up. I'm gonna tell you, the SL up every time. I'm not a trader that trades without having stop loss. No, SL up all the time. SL up. But again, great day, man. And I gotta just keep giving thanks to God, man, because obviously none of this would have been done without Him. So again, hopefully this is somewhat informative to whoever comes across this. And you guys be blessed.